The Friends of Reading Hockey would like to congratulate Steve Saviano on his induction into the 2017 Reading Athletic Hall of Fame. In December of 1996, freshman forward Steve Saviano may have been easily overlooked as an up-and-coming Reading High School boys hockey player. Likely standing 5'4" and weighing around 120 pounds, it would be easy to think of the freshman Saviano as just another player on a powerful 1996-97 Reading High team that was loaded with talent. The Rockets of that winter would go on to post a best ever 18-0-0 record in the Middlesex League, the first of its kind since the league went to 10 teams at the start of the 1969-70 season. Reading began the season with a 14-1 wipeout of Watertown, a game that saw Saviano make his debut with a goal and 5 assists for a 6-point night, giving everyone a glimpse as to what was in store for Saviano. When he finished his career 4 years later in 2000, the Rockets experienced unmatched success in the Middlesex League. Reading teams posted 4 league titles and 4 Super 8 berths, all under Saviano's watch. In fact, Steve Saviano never played in a losing Middlesex League game, as the Rockets went 66-0-6 during Saviano's 4 years. Now having grown to 5'6" and a sturdier 155 pounds, Saviano left at the time as the school's all-time leading scorer with 70 goals, 148 assists for 218 points from a program that was regarded as the state's best public school hockey program. A year later, Saviano was surpassed in career points by his high school line mate and Reading High Athletic Hall of Famer Sean Collins. Being second all-time to Collins, who put up unthinkable 270 points, is still quite a remarkable achievement to this day. Right from the very first game his freshman year, it was apparent that Saviano was a special player, and size was not going to be a factor. In fact, it likely fueled him. He had an amazing engine and determination that made him the player he became. A selfless player, Saviano would rather set up others to score goals than score himself. The left-handed shooting playmaker set the standard for his assist. His 148 assists remains the school record, as does his single-season record for assists at 53 during his senior year. His vision, skating ability, and soft hands were unparalleled at the time. What also set him apart in the eyes of the coaches was his attitude. Reading High hockey coach Mark Daugherty, then an assistant under his father Peter, who is a Reading High Athletic Hall of Fame coach, says Saviano's attitude was as good as we've ever had here. It was a lot easier when the best player is totally committed to the team. It makes the other players follow and toe the line. And he's always smiling. A lot of determined players keep that serious focus throughout, and Stephen was determined, but did it with a smile on his face. It was Peter Daugherty who first told skeptical opposing coaches and local sports writers that Saviano, even despite his smallish size early on, had a real shot to make it. And make it he did, with 11 goals and 21 assists for 32 points, getting his high school career going his freshman season. Saviano was a key piece to the 96-97 undefeated and untied Middlesex League championship team, who won their 3rd straight league title and went on to the Super 8 tournament. Now joined by Collins in the 97-98 campaign, the duo continued Reading's domination of the Middlesex League. While it may not have been another 18-0-0 league season, a 16-0-2 undefeated league championship year is certainly noteworthy. Collins scored 32 goals his freshman season, many of them spoon-fed by one of Saviano's 37 assists his sophomore year. The Rockets won their first 2 Super 8 games and went on to finish 3rd. Only the Super 8 championship season in 2008 was a higher finish by a Reading team in the elite tournament. Saviano and Collins were now heralded players in the league and in the state. No matter, as they could not be stopped and success continued to snowball under Saviano's leadership. Saviano had his second straight 50-point-plus season, as he scored 19 goals and had 37 assists for 56 points as a junior. Reading posted a 17-0-1 Middlesex League record and another title in 98 and 99. It now had an unbeaten streak in the Middlesex League game of 56, which went back to the final 2 games of the season prior to Saviano's arrival. Reading qualified for the Super 8 tournament for the 5th straight year. Saviano's overtime goal to beat Matignon 3-2 in BU's Walter Brown Arena remains his most indelible memory. The Rockets went 2-2 that postseason to finish 4th in the Super 8 tournament. The next year as a senior, Saviano went out in style with 22 goals and 53 assists for 75 points. It was a 6th straight Middlesex League title for the Rockets and 4th straight with Saviano in the lineup. A 4th trip to the Super 8 for Saviano unfortunately resulted in a brief stay as a 1-goal loss to Arlington, and a double overtime loss to Needham ended the high school career of Steve Saviano. There was plenty more hockey for Saviano after Reading High. A scholarship to the University of New Hampshire followed that was capped in 2004 season with being named Hockey East Player of the Year, as well as College Hockey All-American and Hobey Baker finalists.
I mean, my teammates were there for me this whole time, and I think I've played with some great line mates over the years, and they've got me to this level.
Since his college career ended, Saviano began a successful professional career that has taken him from the East Coast and American Hockey League in the United States to now in Europe, where he is in his 12th season playing overseas currently with the Belfast Giants. It is with great pride the Reading High Athletic Hall of Fame welcomes Steve Saviano into the Hall of Fame class for 2017.
Saviano. Good play by Steve Saviano, who's always moving his feet, tries to get the puck out front. Lovely chance here. Lovely play by Steve Saviano. And fair home by Colin Shields.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by apologizing for not being in attendance tonight. To be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. And in the meantime, I'm lucky enough to still be playing hockey here in Belfast, Northern Ireland. It's been quite a run. I'd like to congratulate all the other inductees and to thank the Hall of Fame committee for the selection and all the work they do to make this night possible. I'm sure it's not easy. Although high school does feel like a lifetime ago, when I received the news from the committee that I was selected, many memories and emotions came to mind as if it was yesterday. I'll never forget my first Reading High experience. I was 10 years old. During the game, Reading scored a goal, and all of a sudden, broken records were being thrown on the ice from the cheerleaders. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It was the time when Mike Sullivan broke Kevin Thompson's all-time scoring record. That sort of set the stage for my Reading High School career. I wanted to be like Mike, and I wore number 5 from there on out. When I got to high school, I asked Mr. Dark can I wear number 5. He quickly put an end to that and threw me a jersey. He said, "You're wearing this one." I'm like, "Okay." It was number 8. He goes, I go, "Why?" He goes, "It's the smallest jersey." No surprise there, I guess. Hockey has been my life. It's led me all over North America and Europe. It's been everything to me. Now thinking about it, I can honestly say I would not be where I am today and playing 14 years professional hockey if I didn't grow up in Reading. I was not an overly talented hockey player. I was more of a player that took advantage of an amazing surrounding with great family, coaches, and teammates. First, I need to thank my parents. My parents sacrificed so much time, money, bringing me from game to game all over New England growing up. But more importantly, they taught me to work hard no matter what and try to be a good person doing it. I remember one time I scored 4 goals in a game. I was all excited. I was a kid. I scored 4 goals. I get back to the car, and my mom was mad at me. I go, "Mom, what's up?" She goes, "You got a penalty." I go, "Oh, I got a penalty. I scored 4 goals." She goes, "Doesn't matter. You're never going to help your team from the penalty box." That's my mom for you. She didn't care about anything about goals, assists. She only cared about me skating as hard as I could and working hard. Next, I have to thank the Dohertys. Let's face it, they are Reading hockey. Mr. D, Mrs. D, Mark, they were basically my second family growing up. If I wasn't playing hockey for them, I was working at Dynamic Sports. Keep this between us, but I used to spend a lot of time pretending to work, but instead be listening to Mr. D and Mark talk hockey with the customers or their friends. It was a great time for me. Mr. D was one of the most special people in my life. He's so generous as a person. I miss him, and I'm thankful for the amount of time he spent trying to steer me to be a better hockey player the right way. I think part of the Darties' success in Reading is because they are such great people. The amount of former players the Darties had volunteer their time to help coach us was a major part of my development growing up. The Golden brothers, Frankie, Mike, and Ryan, Tom Quinn, Dave Hunter, the Thompson family. I can go on and on. But I love being around all of them, learning the game, and hearing their stories. Another big part of my development, I think, was the teammates we had at Reading. We had plenty of talent in Reading. Pat Libbets, Chris Diamond, Brendan Clark, Chris Deagle. Again, I can go on and on. We were loaded. I almost forgot. Sean Collins. He was a special talent. He was one of the best high school players in the country, and I was lucky enough to be on his line. And you can imagine how my skill accelerated because Sean was there. He was always pushing me, always trying to make me better as a player. And I don't think I'd be at UNH or a turned professional if I didn't get accelerated with Sean Collins. Playing hockey as long as I have, you become a little selfish. There's so much sacrifice from your loved ones around you, constantly traveling, always living around my schedule. It becomes a lifestyle that everyone in your life sort of adjusts to. It's not really fair. And I'm thankful for my family for the support through all this, through all these years. My parents, my sister Marisa, my brother Paul, my beautiful wife Martina, my two little boys now, Louie and James. I'm so spoiled with love and so blessed that you're in my life. In closing, I would like to say one more point. I have played with players from all over the world, all different levels, and when we compare hockey stories growing up, no story seems as special as me playing at Reading. Hockey is a bit different than most traditional sports because the abundance of options at the high school level with junior hockey, Catholic schools, prep schools. So most don't get the high school, public school experience like I got, and they didn't get the experience of packed Burbank with all their childhood friends and family cheering them on. They didn't have cheerleaders decorating their lockers and a chance to play with their best friends every day. And it was an amazing time playing at Reading High and a tradition I will always be proud of. So I want to say thank you, Reading, and thank you for the opportunity.